Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
BoxingVoice.com.
What broke him down? Was it just a body punching? I was hitting him with body punching. I heard him, actually, he was crying in there. You were saying that Gibbs was crying when you hit him? Yes. When did that happen? And perhaps the fourth round on.
BoxingVoice.com.
So that you knew you had him by that time. Absolutely, but I knew he was tough and taking those punches.
Productions.
Making women gestures like, oh.
Let's go check.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back with another edition of the Boxing Voice, and this is going to be a spontaneous one brought to you specifically to discuss some of the aftermath that took place in the heavyweight division due to Anthony Joshua dethroning for a second time Wladimir Klitschko. Tony Bellew, Johnny Nelson, Deontay Wilder were all three on hand commentating this fight, and some very interesting audio was leaked of both Deontay Wilder and Tony Bellew kind of negotiating, kind of setting the stage for what could be. This is what we're going to be talking about. The fact that Wilder seems to us to be admitting he is not the A-side in the Bellew fight. The fact that Bellew is poking fun at Wilder for that David Haye win. If this is something you're interested in, something you want to talk about, call us right now at the number 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 time to voice your opinion on the Voice of the People hotline. And international callers, don't fear, you can call in too by adding Nestor Gibbs on Skype, NESTORGIBBS. Let me head on out over to the Golden State, to the Hipster.
Wladimir Productions.
This is a beautiful performance against a very tough guy in Michael Johnson. How do you feel about it?
Fuck that. Conor McGregor.
BoxingVoice.com.
You know me, Larry. From a wicked entrance, from a flip over the rock into a knockout. When the main thing is, I just help the guy. I wish.
BoxingVoice.com.
Yes, the hipsters here. Haters beware. And unfortunately, we may have to actually discuss Tony Bellew fighting Deontay Wilder like it's reality, and that Tony Bellew deserves to be in a fight against Deontay Wilder. I don't know. There's a lot of things about this topic that really grinds my gears in a lot of ways. You know, I know we got some callers on the line that are definitely going to bring up some of the grievances I have about this, and we have people in the chat talking about it. Obviously, we're going to discuss it at length, so I can't wait to chop it up.
Man, I'm right there with you, bro. I don't know how to feel about this one. I don't feel it's the right thing for Wilder to do, but it's kind of like a double-edged sword, man. I mean, it's like, in one hand, it can help Wilder increase his international exposure and popularity. Bellew is obviously a bigger name than Joseph Parker at this point, but Bellew has no title. You know, we spoke about unifications yesterday and the fact that if Joshua and Wilder were to meet, that in terms of public perception, it would be good for both of them to have multiple straps so that there seems to at least show a level of equality. Him taking this hard left and fighting Bellew, who's a cruiserweight, once was a light heavyweight. I just have so many negative reasons why not to do this. But then again, when you're listening to Tony Bellew speak and you're hearing the fact that he feels strongly about being able to fill it up an arena with Wilder, and he feels that Wilder is a bigger name than Joseph Parker himself, I wonder to myself, how big of a fight would this be? Yesterday, we seen so many of the Anthony Joshua fans throw roadblocks and recommend Wilder fight Bellew when weeks or months ago, it would have been a joke that Wilder was fighting Tony Bellew or speaking of it, or, you know, the fact that we're discussing it, we would have been laughed at. But we're so much closer to this being a reality than not. But Matt, before I go to the audio and let everyone hear this leaked audio of the two men negotiating, I mean, what are your kind of initial thoughts on the little bit of information you've been able to gather on this subject?
I think that it's a two-pronged thing. We have Wilder obviously trying to get some sort of foot in the market in the UK. Now, I may recommend fighting somebody else from the UK other than a blown-up cruiserweight with a chin issue. I'd rather fight maybe like a Dylan White. I think that's a much more respectable fight if he's trying to go to the UK and trying to have a fight there, because I can understand that aspect. But fight somebody legitimate, not a blown-up cruiserweight. And then we have Tony Bellew, who obviously wants to capitalize on the money fight he had against David Haye, where most people did not think he was going to win. And he even didn't think he was going to win. And he thought he had to go to sports psychologists, and he was very depressed before that fight. Like he talks ad nauseum about how much he was afraid of David Haye going into that fight. So we have a guy trying to capitalize on an unsuspected win in a position in the division he doesn't belong in, trying to get a big money fight. And obviously he doesn't want to fight AJ. One, they're friends. And two, I think he just knows that AJ would definitely destroy him. And because of the perception of Wilder being, bum squad and fighting bums and not really being that good, I think he may think, I could win that. Yes, I'm scared of that because he punches a lot harder than David Haye, but that I could still win that, and that's still a big money fight. That's a pay-per-view headline in the UK. But again, I think it's just such a illegitimate fight. It's a bullshit fight. It's a farce fight. It's what people talk about prize fighting being, and taking out all the sporting aspect of it. So I think it's a bullshit fight, and it's unfortunate that we have to talk about it. And I hope that Deontay Wilder, if he's listening, don't do this, man. You're better than this. And no matter what, even if it's a big money fight, people are going to give you shit for fighting Tony Bellew no matter what. Go fight Joseph Parker. That's a belt. People are going to give you more respect for that. Let's be honest.
Now, Matt, is this not coming from a hardcore perspective? Because you're like, people are going to give them shit. But obviously, the UK fans, they eat these types of fights up.
I'll put it this way. If Deontay Wilder goes out there and starches him, everyone's going to post the fight, oh, he was a blown-up cruiserweight. Even the people that said should fight Tony Bellew next, they will come back and say, oh, well, Tony Bellew, was a blown-up cruiserweight. He got knocked out by Adonis Stevenson. Like, come on, man. Like, we know how our callers and the fans of the sport are going to perceive this fight. It's a bullshit fight before and afterwards. It just is.
Well, I'm trying to get this audio here, get this all played up so we can at least be a little closer to what was, right? The negotiations that took place. I don't know if these men knew that the microphones were hot. I don't know. But never the case. Let me go ahead and pull it up. I feel like you though, Matt. I know that he won't get any credit. He shouldn't, being as though that Adonis did what he did when he did it. But then it's kind of again hypocritical, right? Because I mean, after the Adonis, he's been able to do everything that he's done: move up the cruiserweight, become a WBC, champion, then challenge David Haye and defeat him as well. So I don't know who are we to say what he should and shouldn't do. I am on your side though. I feel like Wilder would get no credit.
And very quickly before we play this audio, if I'm Wilder and I'm his team, I'm always going after the biggest money possible because of the nature of this sport. That's just a reality. The interest of Wilder and his team are vastly different than those of hardcore fans, and that's for every boxer. That's just a reality that we have to face. That everyone's interests in the sport are different.
Well, let's go to the video/audio. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button to show that you appreciate the content around here, and head on over to YouTube if you want to check out the video. All our podcast listeners, drop us that 5-star review on iTunes, and you can listen to the video in its audio.
You know what? I knew this would
a big park, and I'm honest, we've got a stadium like this, but it's in Liverpool, and we could fill it. Almost, hey, I'm down for whatever. We could fill it. I'm down for whatever. I want to. You done beat David Haye, and that puts you on your high horse, on a pedestal. That puts you on your high horse.
let's just stop it there. You hear, obviously, Tony Bellew saying, we can do our own show like this. We can put it in Liverpool and we'll pack it. And you hear Deontay obviously saying, hey, I'm down for whatever. You're on your high horse because you beat David Haye. And Bellew comes back and says, no, I'm on a pedestal. I love, the UK guys know how to talk some shit, though. Let's keep going.
And Tony Bellew was in a movie. Like, that does help.
Yeah, he was in Creed, He has that notoriety, but again, he's still a cruiserweight.
The fight with me and you, that's what the fans is eating up right now. That's why the internet is so powerful these days.
I want to stop that there because Deontay goes on to say a fight with you and me is what they want right now. That's why the internet is so powerful. And obviously we've done other Bellew Wilder stories. I didn't feel the overwhelming consensus of fans that were clamoring for this fight. Did you? Are we missing something? Is Wilder on another message board that we don't know about? Is he, where is he getting this data from?
I mean, I have no idea. Obviously, the amount of people that comment to fighters are usually not hardcore fans, I would say. I would say more casual fans are people adding on Twitter Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Tony Bellew. Those are more casual fans, in my opinion. I could be wrong about that. That's purely just a perception of what that is. And more casual fans are going to want the bigger name versus the bigger name. That's why we have people talking about Mayweather and McGregor like that's a reality. It's because that's the biggest name in one sport against the biggest name of the other sport. Similar to this, Deontay Wilder is a big name. Tony Bellew is a big name. So casuals are naturally going to link the two.
Well, let's go back to the tape, see what they finish up saying here.
Joseph Parker made contact, and I'll be totally honest. You're a much bigger name than Joseph Parker. But I'm a bigger name than Joseph Parker. That's straight up. I'm down for whatever, Tony.
Tony Bellew says, I'll be honest, you're a much bigger name than Joseph Parker, but I'm a bigger name than Joseph Parker. And do you think that that's true? Does the Creed movie, the WBC Cruiserweight title, the dethroning of David Haye, is all that enough to make Tony Bellew bigger than Joseph Parker, who is a heavyweight WBO champion?
I think obviously we're in a hardcore bubble, so we may think Joseph Parker is a bigger name, but Tony Bellew is by far a bigger name. He along with David Haye sold over 800,000 pay-per-view buys in the UK. And I know you're going to say, oh, they're cheaper, but that's nothing to scoff at. The population of the UK is the same population as California, to put that in perspective. So that's a very big number for a guy like Tony Bellew and David Haye. So I think that Tony Bellew is a big star, at least in the UK. I don't know about the US, but he's definitely well known over there.
I mean, is he bigger than Parker to you or not?
Yes, I would say he's bigger than Parker.
Okay.
I'm loving Johnny Nelson being in the middle here.
My promoter, and I'm down for whatever the fans want that I want. Hey, what better way to make my name even bigger in England than to fight you? A guy right here from me.
It's a way to make a big name, but usually when I sign contracts, they usually end my way and they go my way too. So same here. Be careful.
Now that's where the audio cuts out, which sucks because it would have been good to hear more than just both of them laugh. I have another version of this where the end is really them both just laughing, agreeing that when they sign contracts, it's usually in their favor. So the only piece of information that I can hold on to assume that Wilder is admitting that Bellew is the A side is when he says you're on your high horse because you beat David Haye. And we know from their scuffle and altercation, altercation definitely previous to the calling of this fight, when Wilder was wearing that cream jacket, Bellew said, A, he has a better boxing mind, and B, he holds a better win with the David Haye win than anything that Wilder has done. So again, that kind of tied in with the Creed movie, the WBC win over McAboo. There's a case to be argued that he is the A side. And obviously, they're both agreeing to go to Liverpool. Do they fill the stadium, Matt?
Of course. Come on. Tony Bellew is beloved in Liverpool. And if he brought over the WBC American heavyweight champion of the world and Deontay Wilder over, yeah, they're going to sell that place out easily. It's not a 90,000 seat stadium, but 20, 25, 30, easily. No problem. And it would do... It won't break a million pay-per-view buys in the UK, but it would get pretty close.
You want storyline, right? Now, this is just my mind working, right? Bellew and Joshua obviously have a relationship. There's footage of it. There's pictures. He can do the old, Ivan Drago, Apollo. You go in there and you destroy. God forbid you kill Bellew. And Joshua has to come to the rescue. He looks like a superhero, so it would play into what the UK public wants. They want to build up the fight. After yesterday's show, an immediate reaction show on Saturday, you continue to check all our comments on either our videos or our Instagrams. And, the people want to build it up. They're saying that's the biggest fight is Wilder and Joshua, and it shouldn't happen right away. I just don't understand how, Wilder goes from never fighting anyone to it being okay in the eyes of the UK public that he fights Tony Bellew. Listen, I want to ask you guys, I actually want to tell you, it's not okay that this many people are watching and we have that few amount of thumbs up. If you could just do us the favor and show that you appreciate the content by hitting that thumbs up button. I like to remind you, it just helps with the visibility of the show for new people to find us. And if you're watching this or listening to this on iTunes or TuneIn and Stitcher, a 5-star review on there goes a long way. We're not asking for any financial support. Simple thumbs up does it all. Matt, I mean, what do you think about all this?
I mean, I think everything that we've said is true. Like, Bellew is the A side. It's a big fight for whatever that is. But I think we are sort of in agreement, me, you, and probably most of the callers and people in the chat, listeners, that Deontay Wilder ices Bellew, and that this is purely a setup fight. Bellew is his Sullivan Barrera and Alexander Brand.
Wait a minute. What about the fact that people think Wilder is very wild? He's associated with a windmill.
I'll put it this way. If we have any callers,
why can't he be outboxed is what I'm saying.
He can be outboxed 100%.
Listen, Gerald Washington, Matt, he doesn't have the amateur background of the Bomber, and I'm talking Tony Bellew. He doesn't have the in-ring experience with elite level fighters like the Bomber. You know what I mean? So maybe he can pull an upset, the biggest upset known to man, and outbox him. Roy Jones outboxed the heavyweight.
Here's the thing. No, you're right. Here's the thing. When you have a guy with the power of Wilder, and you have a guy like Bellew who has to win at least 7 rounds and last all 12 rounds, 36 minutes of action in the ring against a guy like Wilder, your chances of survival and lasting all 12 rounds to win decision is small. Is super small. That's my thing.
With those big shots, quote unquote, and I'm using air quotes, Wilder, I know you like to listen to the show. This is not me. The quote unquote, the windmill punches. Yep. The comparison to the paddle boats. Every time he's throwing these punches and missing this way with all this power, he's growing more and more tired, slower and slower. And
but he gets late fight finishes all the time, though. He finished Spielka later in the fight. He finished Eric Molina later in the fight. He finished all these guys later in the fight. He is exceptional at finishing guys late. That is one thing he's been good at, is not letting fights go to decision and making sure he gets a finish in the last 3 rounds. He's done that almost in all of his fights. So I don't know. I don't view Tony Bellew as having much of a chance to outbox him and winning a decision, because I don't see him lasting 12 rounds at all. Do you? Listen, what's the percentage chance of Tony Bellew lasting 12 rounds?
Listen, you guys know. I personally would go with Bomb Squad basically against everyone, but there is an argument to be made for his flaws, for his deficiencies.
I'm not saying he doesn't have flaws. He definitely does have flaws.
Someone can take advantage. All right, let's play this game. Is Tony Bellew better than Eric Molina?
Yes.
That's good. He is more accomplished than Eric Molina, but this is what you have to understand. If you
But again, we're talking about two different weight classes here. That's the thing.
We are.
Kell Brook is better than David Lemieux, but they're different fucking weight classes. So what does it matter?
Yeah, it does make it difficult. But I mean, I'm just saying, if a guy like Eric Molina, who doesn't have, again, any amateur background, any big elite level experience, the elite level experience that he has, it was with Areola before he got in there with Wilder. So, you know, if Molina can have that success, look at Joan Dunhapis, right? People thought this guy came out of nowhere. He lasted. He went a couple of rounds. How many did he go? Maybe 7, maybe 10 or something like that?
Yeah.
You know? Does he have the skill of a Tony Bellew? Even Arthur Spielka, to many, look good versus Deontay.
But here's the thing. It's not you're doing the wrong equation.
Naysayers, listen, last little phrase here. According to the naysayers, Deontay is being saved because he's being protected and he's fighting bums. And obviously you will say his power. So someone should be able to beat him.
Yeah, I don't think it's not Tony Bellew. Like I think Joseph Parker has a much better chance.
Wilder's not a come forward fighter though, man. You know he's a counterpuncher.
Of course he is. And that is the worst style for a guy against Tony Bellew. Look at Adonis Stevenson.
But at the same time, it gives Bellew more of an opportunity because now he doesn't have to worry about the big, stronger man bringing the pain to him. Instead, he's able to fight a paced fight. Use his boxing IQ. Come in down the middle while Wilder's being wild and swimming freestyle motion.
Yeah, you can do that in parts, but you cannot do that for 12 rounds. That's the thing. He can do it in parts of every round, but eventually he's going to get hit with a hard shot. And Bellew has never had a tough chin. You know, he got rocked against David Haye, and David Haye blew out his knee, and that's what led to that victory and that comeback within that fight. You know, I just do not see Wilder not landing that shot and not hurting him at least once. And we both know that when Wilder hurts a guy, he has some of the best killer instinct in the heavyweight division. It may not be the most efficient, but he definitely goes at guys. He does. He does not let up.
Yeah, I consider him a finisher for sure. But he is wild. That's why he's broken. I'm just giving everybody their own criticism of Wilder. He's wild. He's broken his hands. He doesn't land flush. If you're more technically sound, you should be able to beat him, I'm saying.
Yes, but you also have to have a good chin. Like, that's the other additive. You need skill to beat Wilder, but you also need other factors. That's one thing you need. But you need 5 other things to beat Wilder. You know, you can't win. You don't win boxing fights at this level off of one thing that you have better than your opponent. It's not like that.
To be fair, Bellew hit Haye with everything and didn't knock him out. It was a ref stoppage, a mercy stoppage, you know. He may not have the power to stop Wilder, but this is boxing. You don't need to stop Wilder. You need to outbox him. You need to outbox him.
Not be stopped, yes.
You need to win 7 rounds. Listen, I just want to remind you guys, you know, we love doing this. That's why we do at least 2 shows a day. And if you love hearing us, hit that thumbs up button. It helps with the visibility of the show. If you're listening to this in the gym, on your treadmill, your bike ride, whatever the case may be, while you're cooking and walking your children, drop us a 5-star review on iTunes. It also helps with the visibility of the show. We're going to go.
Very quickly, I want to ask you one last question before we go to the callers. Would you rather see Deontay Wilder fight Tony Bellew or Dylan White?
Well, rather?
Yeah, what would you rather personally?
I would rather see Deontay Wilder fight Anthony Joshua.
No. I'm giving you those 2 fighters. That's it. Those are the only fighters on the table.
Exactly. No, well, if you are going to give me an ultimatum option, you need to take the one that they're giving us, which is Wilder versus Bellew.
I said that. You have Bellew and Dylan White. Which one would you rather see?
Again, it's easy. You always rather the better fight, and the better fight to me has to be Dylan White because he's in full heavyweight.
Which fight do you think is bigger? Which fight do you think is bigger?
Bellew was bigger because he's the bigger name. Okay. Listen, I'm admitting that, but I know that the man will not get any credit. He will be shamed for fighting Bellew, and if it's a lose-lose situation, man. He gets in there and he loses 4 rounds the way that he did with Gerald Washington and then sends Bellew to the hospital. It's like, oh, he lost 4 rounds to a light heavyweight. They won't even say he's a cruiserweight. They'll skip it. They'll say he lost 4 rounds to a light heavyweight.
Do you think that if Wilder fought Parker, he would get haters for that? Could people hate on him for that fight at all?
No. I think fighting Parker and fighting Bellew are the same, except that fighting Bellew is a bigger fight.
Wait, hold on. You think that Deontay Wilder fighting Parker is the same thing as him fighting Bellew?
Yeah, I think that the public,
the public perception of it is the same.
In terms of the American public knowing Bellew and Parker, yeah.
Oh, I'm talking about the merits of the fight, not necessarily who's bigger.
Well, the merits, obviously, it's a legitimate unification to fight the heavyweight, but the cruiserweight is a bigger fight.
All right.
You know, it is what it is. Unfortunately, I really wanted him to do the White fight. I can't believe. Listen, at this point, Wilder's not looking too good. Everyone else is fighting. Pulev just beat up Kevin Johnson, but again, no one wants that WBC. Like Pulev's in line to fight Anthony Joshua, the bigger fight. Luis Ortiz is in line to fight Anthony Joshua, the bigger fight. You know what I mean? And Joseph Parker is calling out the bigger names in Bellew, in Huey Fury, in Joshua, not Deontay. They want the bigger fights. Deontay is he doesn't represent a big payday to these guys, you know. It does if he's willing to travel, which he's obviously willing to travel with a guy like Tony Bellew. But listen, let's go out to the phone lines. You know the number 1-425-569-5241. Remember to add Nestor Gibbs on Skype, NESTORGIBBS.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com. Fight fans, don't leave the decision in the hands of the judges. Download the Throwdown scoring app and receive live scoring, CompuBox stats, boxing predictions from other users around the world. Head over to your iPhone App Store or your Google Play Store and download it absolutely free.
Boxing Evolution, talk to me.
Man, hey, can you guys hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Yeah, cool, man. It's been a while since I called in, man. I was trying to call on what's called the AJ fight because I actually went. It was my first ever fight, and I actually went to the AJ fight, and I was so bummed I couldn't get on the show because my Skype wasn't working. So you would have heard the whole crowd and everything like that. But yeah, what was the main question for today?
Well, we're just discussing the leaked audio between Tony Bellew and Deontay Wilder discussing a Liverpool fight and Wilder kind of admitting that Bellew is the A side due to the win over David Haye and being on his I think Wilder said you're on I don't know, fuck it. But Bellew
high horse. He said high horse and then Bellew said pedestal.
Yeah.
Pedestal, yeah. I just checked out the capacity of Goodison Park, which is Bellew's teams. Their team's name's Everton. His team's name's Everton, and they're 40,000 seater stadium. The one at Anfield, which I don't think he would do, which is Liverpool Stadium, they're like 54,000 capacity. But I don't think he would go to Liverpool because they're a rival. So
he did say Liverpool in the audio, though.
Yeah, because Everton's in Liverpool. Like
okay.
Everton, Goodison Park's in Liverpool. But
so let me ask you, you don't sound frustrated though. Like Americans, they feel shame that Wilder would be negotiating with a cruiserweight. You seem to think that it's a good idea, David and Goliath like.
No. I don't. I don't think it's a good idea. I think that he should fight Dylan White. But if he's going to do it, then he's going to do it. But I think that he should fight Dylan White. I think that would be a really cool fight over here, because then you got that comparison between him and AJ, and that will really build him up over here. So I think he should do that, and he could sell out. I don't think he'll get a stadium, but he can definitely do the O2, which is a 20,000 seater stadium, and he'll get a lot. And he'll definitely do Sky pay-per-view. Definitely. I'm gonna have to go, man. My son's killing me.
No problem, brother. We could come back to you. Just let me know on Skype. I want to thank you, obviously, for calling in all the way in the United Kingdom. We're gonna stay in the UK, and let's go to Cassius.
Yo, what's good? See, so I think this Deontay and Tony Bellew thing has to happen. I don't want this fight, but to build that brand, this fight has to kind of happen. I think the Parker fight would be better option, but what's going to be better? Think about this. What's going to be better for his brand? He wants bigger fights, right? A Dylan fight, that's another one.
All right. I mean, I hear you, man. That's what I'm saying. It sounds like the UK doesn't mind sacrificing Tony Bellew. Why do you?
They're all ducking this man. They're ducking this man. They don't want this fight. They don't want this fight. They don't want this dangerous fight. This man ends career. Like he changed careers. Why would anyone want this fight?
But Bellew wants to fight.
Bellew is just after a payday. That's it. Like he's just after a payday. He knows he can't win this fight. That's have you heard the interview of his after David Haye fight, where how he was talking about the brain damage and all that stuff? He doesn't want this fight. He just wants that quick payday and then retire. That's all he wants. He doesn't want this fight either.
But what about the fact that he's saying he's got a better boxing mind, and people think that technically Bellew's better?
I think that it won't really matter, because as soon as it connects, they will connect. Deontay will connect. He was getting outboxed by Washington as well. He will connect. And once he connects, that's it. End of story right there. It does not matter if you've got a better boxing IQ or whatever. You will connect and you will dead there. That's it. People were saying Amir Khan was faster than Canelo, but guess what? As soon as they connected, that's it. End of story. That's how it works. So I don't think it matters.
Well, my friend, I want to thank you, obviously, for calling in. We truly appreciate that. And, you know, we're always here.
But look, I'm ready. I mean, I'll take anyone.
I know, Khan. We all know. Let's get out to Idris in the UK. Idris.
Hello, yeah, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, man. I was saying this yesterday about this fight, man. I think Deontay Wilder's in a bit of a catch-22 situation where he needs a fight. And that Parker fight, he knows it needs to happen. But at the meantime, he needs to find another opponent. And Tony Bellew is like, let's be realistic. I think it's the best tune-up fight. It's the biggest tune-up fight in boxing, because that's what it is. It's a tune-up fight, and you're not gonna find another tune-up fight in any division that gets you paid like that, gets viewers, and gets you known to casuals the way Bellew would for Deontay Wilder. Plus, there's that storyline. Nestor, you said it well. I didn't even think of that. That's Anthony Joshua's guy, man. People are gonna be getting onto Anthony Joshua to get some revenge for him, you know, over here in the UK. So that's a big fight. And let's just say, for argument's sake, Bellew has a chance. Just for argument's sake, which I don't think is going to happen. Didn't Cunningham knock down Tyson Fury as a cruiserweight? And Tyson Fury was a heavyweight? That happened, right? So you never know, man. You can never say never, man. But I think if Deontay Wilder gets that fight, 50,000 gets sold. He becomes the enemy of the state. And that's just bigger for him. And he's just a guy now. He will be an A-side guy after that. I think that's where he's looking at it. This fight makes him an A-side guy, and it actually will. So
let me ask you, you're in the UK. What's the bigger fight? If Dylan White comes in and pulls out of the Maurice Vac fight and says, no, fight me, and they do it wherever Dylan White is from, could Dylan White sell as many tickets and pay-per-views as Tony Bellew? Excuse me, Tony Bellew?
I don't think he can. I think Bellew is a much bigger fight, but Dylan White is a harder fight. But Bellew's definitely a much bigger fight. I don't know what. Yeah, I think these heavyweight divisions have put a lot of divisions on notice over the weekend. You know, I think they've made a lot of divisions look at each other and like, yo, these guys are shitting on us. We need to step up. We're going to see a lot of people calling each other out in the next few months. We're going to see a great year this year. So I'm just happy about that, man. That's my call as well, man. And don't forget about that Cunningham drop down on thing, man, coming from cruiserweight.
No, you're right, man. Hey, I'm not going to argue for you. I'm not going to make a case for Wilder because I think that he won't get any credit. But that was funny. He said the biggest tune-up fight. Well, that's what we're asking. We presented you the audio. Wilder's admitting he's not the A side. Matthew, should he go on a UK run? I mean, is it okay with you if the doors open up with Bellew and the next fight is Dillian Whyte? Dillian Whyte seems to be getting in preparation for bigger heavyweights by fighting Maurice Vach. Is maybe Dillian Whyte and Eddie Hearn already talking about, hey, your next fight is going to be Wilder. Let's set it up. Is this all part of the grand plan?
It could be. But am I okay with it? I don't know. It's one of those things where eventually boxing fans are going to have to come to a point where, are we okay with taking complete shit fights to get the good fight later on?
Well, remember,
I don't know. Like we've gotten so many shit fights. We had Danny Garcia versus Samuel Vargas. We had Ward versus Brand. Like I'm just tired of these. Like just
you're fickle. Listen, you're fickle. Listen, Linda, listen. Okay, Alexander Brand was a sacrificial lamb that brought us Sergey Kovalev versus Ward. Samuel Vargas was a sacrificial lamb that brought us Keith Thurman versus Danny Garcia. If
wasn't Robert Guerrero that sacrificial lamb? Wasn't Sullivan Barrera that sacrificial lamb? Why do we have to get more shit fights? Why does the ratio have to be so off? Why do we have to? Why is it 2 shit fights to 1?
We've been here before.
I know we've been here, but there comes a point where we have to stop allowing this, like as a community, like we do.
But you can't expect every fighter to go in there tough every the
no,
same
we
way.
can't expect it, but we should ask.
Hold on. The same way yesterday, people were saying, bro, he just fought Wladimir Klitschko. It's his 19th fight. He shouldn't have to fight Wilder next.
Yeah, fight your mandatories.
All right. So then,
whatever.
We're never gonna get a gauntlet of fights because you heard.
But we're not talking about Joshua who just fought Klitschko. We're talking about Wilder who fought Joe Washington, Eric Molina, Spielka, all these Duhaupas.
Yes.
We're talking about that guy.
Now, simultaneously say, did he called out Joshua when Joshua wasn't ready? Did he call out? Did he call
Parker? Not Parker. They didn't answer the call.
All of them. They don't want to answer the call, so it's not his fault. He's got to do whatever he's got to do.
I'm not saying it's his fault, but there is a situation that is wrong. Like this situation is wrong. And I'm not saying he's in wrong, but I'm saying us getting shit fights is what's wrong. But I'm not saying everyone go at Wilder and go, Wilder, why are you fighting bums? It may not be his problem. It may not be his fault.
It's somebody's fault. Listen, the ultimate question is, if Bellew is the appetizer to lead into the Dillian Whyte, are you okay with it?
I say skip Bellew, go to Dillian Whyte. You don't need Bellew.
But everyone's admitting that Bellew's the bigger fight. So it's no different. It's no different when Wladimir Klitschko chose Anthony Joshua as his comeback fight. It's the bigger fight. That's why he didn't call on.
I have not disagreed with
Deontay Wilder. He didn't call Deontay Wilder because he knows Deontay Wilder can't fill 90,000 nowhere. Not right now. But Joshua could. And that's why he went that route. That's what I'm saying. So then you want everyone else is allowed to do it, but Bellew and Wilder cannot now. And I'm not saying that's what I want. You know, since yesterday and Saturday, that's not what I want. I know he won't get no credit. He might seriously hurt this man. He might seriously hurt this man who has a family in the name of these casual fans that want to see blood.
And you may not be. I hope you're not directing that at me because I have never. I never put shit fights on a pedestal. Come on, like have I really been one saying that Canelo Chavez is the greatest fight of all time? No, it's a shit fight. It's a money fight. It's a money grab. Kell Brook, Triple G, shit fight. Canelo.
Listen, in our comments, you have people saying Bellew would beat Wilder. Bellew fought better opponent in Hay, which is better than Wilder's opponent. Like people really.
Hay's another blown up cruiserweight. What the fuck are we talking about here? Like, seriously.
Evander Holyfield, who's a fucking Hall of Famer.
You're comparing Evander Holyfield to David Hay? Really?
Why the fuck not? David Haye.
Who has David Haye beat at heavyweight?
Well, David Haye.
Come on.
The man at cruiserweight.
What Hall of Famers has he beat at heavyweight?
I'm not.
Evander Holyfield has beat heavyweight. Hall of Famers at heavyweight.
He didn't have
to dare compare David Haye to Evander Holyfield.
He didn't have the same illustrious career at heavyweight that Evander had, but he was a damn good cruiserweight. He was.
David Haye was an amazing cruiserweight,
and
but he was not an amazing heavyweight.
And when he was coming off of that cruiserweight, hype, he went up to heavyweight and he beat, one or two heavyweights. You know what I mean? Look,
and then he lost to Klitschko, had the whole toe injury, went on sabbatical, fought 2 plumbers, and then blew out his ACL against Tony Bellew. Like, come on.
Wow.
Like, yeah, it's a bigger name than Stavern, but I mean, we can pick apart that win too. Like, let's be honest. Tony Bellew does not deserve to be in this division. He does not deserve to get these fights. End of story.
So he didn't beat David Haye. So
he did beat David Haye. He did. He beat him. So you want the golf clap, Tony Bellew? Beat a guy with blown ACL. Whoop-de fucking do.
I don't understand. So David Haye, Tony Bellew was able to use this David Haye win in Wilder's face, and Wilder's not able to beat him up. He's able to say, I got a better win on my resume than you. I got a better boxing mind, and Wilder's not able to beat him up. That's what he's saying.
Well, Wilder should have been like, your boy had a blown ACL. Wilder blew that. He could have came back.
True.
Easily. He could have.
But these are fighters.
My guy wasn't hurt in the fight. Your guy had a blown ACL in the fight. He had one leg.
But these are fighters who
I don't have one leg, Tony Bellew. I got 2 legs and 2 arms. It's gonna knock you the fuck out. Let's go. Where you at? If that's really what he wanted to do. Or he can say, no, fuck you, Tony Bellew. I don't need you. You're nothing. You're a blown up cruiserweight who beat a guy on one leg. I want Dylan White. I want Anthony Joshua. I want Joseph Parker. I want Luis Ortiz. I want all these guys that are ducking me. That's what he needs to say.
But if he beats Tony Bellew, those guys want to fight him. Don't you understand? He needs to become
because he becomes a money fight. Is that
yes?
Yes. I don't know.
The risk has to be worth the reward.
I don't know if him beating Tony Bellew makes him a money fight. I don't know that.
You're crazy. If he beats Tony Bellew, listen to what
people are gonna pick apart that win.
Look, this is the timeout sign right here, brother. If he, according to our listeners, the 2 options are 40,000 and 50,000 seat arenas in Liverpool. If he beats Tony Bellew in front of those guys, you're telling me he's not a money fight to Dylan White? I'm not talking about the rest of the world. We're
okay. Okay. To Dylan White, yes.
Yeah.
I'll agree. 100%. 100%.
All of a sudden, he becomes worth the risk to the UK public, even to maybe a guy like Luis Ortiz. He becomes worth. Maybe Pulev decides he wants to be ranked in the WBC because it's more of an Eastern European now fight. They can sell it. It means something. Right now, Wilder, listen, yesterday we debated why did he not get called out? Because he's not a ticket seller. He's not going to be a pay-per-view. They're banking on pay-per-view down the road. But listen, we've chopped it up. We're going to go back out to the callers. If you really like what you're hearing, hit the thumbs up. Let's go, people. We're trying to get as many thumbs up as we have people watching. We're going to go out to the callers, back to the UK. Blackface, talk to me.
Yeah, respect to everyone listening in the past, present, or future. It's currently 8:20 in the PM over here in the UK. Let me just say that the fighters over here in the UK and the promoters and the fans have no problem making certain fighters sacrificial lambs for the sake of entertainment and legacy. We've got no problem. Fighters over here have no problem going up challenging themselves against some fight where they're probably going to end up with broken bones and broken limbs and have to take some time off from the sport. In regards from Wilder and Bellew, I don't really like that fight, to be honest with you, but I can understand why that's happening, given that, Joshua's kind of, based on what was said yesterday and stuff, is not really feeling Wilder next, or maybe in the next 2-3 fights. Everyone else seems to be kind of avoiding Wilder, so, the next best option in order to build Wilder's, because you can think about it like this, Bellew, it is essentially doing Wilder a favor. I told you about 6 months ago that Wilder should have jumped on that Dylan White train after Dylan White beat Derek Chisora. Wilder should have been in the UK for that. He should be fighting Dylan White in the UK next month, in theory. That's what he should have done. That's what I would have done if I was in his situation, but that didn't work out like that. But, you know, Bellew, you can see Bellew's doing him a favor. He's talking and, you know, they're talking to each other and trying to promote the fight and stuff. And Bellew says, yeah, he'll fight him. But the reason you can say that's happening is Bellew's trying to shine light on Wilder in order for Wilder to, you know, get other fights with other, you know, Anthony Joshua and stuff, because no one can say that you don't want to see Wilder and Joshua. Like, from an aesthetically pleasing type of fight, they both look the same, they got the same physical attributes, dark-skinned brothers. That's just what we want to see. We want to see those type of fights. But, you know, I mean, Wilder's kind of stuck in a hard place now because everyone's got fights scheduled but him. So who else out there at heavyweight doesn't have a fight that is available to fight? You could say, I don't know, has that Ortiz got a fight?
Pulev and Ortiz don't have fights, but they don't want to call him out. Joseph Parker lost his opponent. Wilder called him out. He didn't take the challenge. He'd rather fight fucking Razvan Koljan, some dude who lost in Buxino a bunch of years ago. You know, the problem is I get called biased for telling the fucking truth. No one wants to sign that contract. They want to blame it on ticket sales. They want to blame it on whatever they want to blame it on. All I hear is people making excuses.
The thing is, Wilder doesn't need to sell tickets, though. Mayweather and Pacquiao taught you that. Mayweather and Pacquiao taught you that you just fight the hot guy. If you fight the hot guy, you don't need him to sell tickets. Algeria and those guys didn't sell tickets. Maidana didn't sell tickets. Robert Guerrero didn't sell tickets. It was the A side that sold the tickets. You don't need dance partners just to make a decent fight. Now, if you want no serious money, then yeah, you need a good dance partner. But just for regular fights, the fights that you take at least once or twice a year, you don't need someone to sell tickets. But Wilder will sell tickets because Sky Sports News have been promoting him for the past 2 years. Every time Wilder's got a fight or interviews on Sky Sports News on the TV, they're talking about him and Joshua. So don't let these UK people tell you that he's not a big draw over here, because his name's been all over Sky Sports News, similar to ESPN First Take that you've got over here for the past 2 years.
Blackface.
So I don't know what people are talking about.
Blackface, can I ask you a quick question? If Deontay Wilder fought Luis Ortiz in a headliner in the UK, would it sell well?
Wait, since you brought him up, because there's some guys in the chat.
Luis Ortiz is hurt, by the way, but that's just a hypothetical fight.
There's some guys in the chat saying things like, "Oh, he didn't call out Deontay Wilder." Ness, really? Yeah, when he was signed to Golden Boy. Please, should I shower myself with coins now or later? How about when he signed to Heyman? And when he was with Golden Boy, did he ever fucking sign up to VADA? Has he ever signed up to VADA, the guy who's tested positive? It took a long time and a lot of articles before his manager started producing emails saying that they did sign up, and then they finally got on. And he's still not sanctioned in the WBC, but you saying he...
But the WBA has a VADA program. The WBA has a VADA program now. You know that.
This got implemented. Let's stop with the bullshit. Let's stop with the bullshit. And if you want to fight with the WBC champion, should you not be fucking ranked in the sanctioning body? Does it work just like that, Matt? Or is Kurt Pulev waiting in the IBF rankings, fighting Kevin fucking Kingpin Johnson?
We both know you can fight outside of your individual sanctioning body rankings. You know you can.
You can if you're willing to pay. But was Lewis paying? That's my question. Was Lewis paying?
No, I'm not talking about is that fight going to happen or is Luis Ortiz ducking it. I'm not talking about that shit. I'm just asking Blackface, if Deontay Wilder fought a bigger name in the division that's not a UK fighter, could it sell well in the UK? That's all I'm asking. Because he brought up Wilder being on Sky Sports a lot. That's all.
Of course it sells well because Joshua is a star. Pacquiao sells against anybody because he's a star. Canelo sells against anybody because he's a star. You don't need a to be a star. He's already defined to be a star. That happened 2 weeks ago. He can fight anybody. He can fight me and people are going to buy it. Didn't you just see what he did with Klitschko? He can fight. And look, how many people tuned in to watch Dominic Brazil? No one outside the UK ever heard of this guy before that. How many people heard of Eric Mealy inside the UK? Nobody. And he still sold well. It doesn't matter. Joshua at this time can do no wrong. He can fight anybody and he's going to do fine. It's going to do great. So
yeah, but Blackface, you're saying Joshua. We're saying Wilder versus
Ortiz. I think that's because Ortiz was promoted by Eddie Hearn.
Wilder versus Luis Ortiz right now.
In O2 in London. Does it do well?
Your opinion, and we got to get to another caller. Does it fill it out?
I still think it does well. I mean, how many boxing fights haven't done well? You gotta go. You gotta start digging into the database to find one that doesn't do well. It does well, man. It's boxing. We fucking boxing. This is our sport. Of course, it does well. That's my call, man. You're supposed to take risks and tell stories.
Well, Blackface, that is true. I got some stories to tell. We're going to go back to the UK. We got Leon McClubbin. Definitely not McLovin from Superbad. What's going on, brother? Where you calling in from?
I'm calling in from London, England. Yeah, first time caller. I have been called McLovin before on a snap name. Let me just say, I just think that Wilder needs to fight someone. Someone of no. Ideally, I would love him to fight Klitschko. I think Klitschko would be the fight that would define him and to another level. But I don't think that's going to happen.
But wait a minute. Wouldn't he be in the same situation as this Tony Bellew fight if he fought Wladimir Klitschko coming off of 2 back-to-back losses?
Well, did Klitschko look soft? I don't think he looked soft in the last fight.
Yeah, but he got knocked out. He got knocked out brutally by Joshua. He took a lot of shots. He went down a lot of times. Do you really think that version of Wladimir would show up again after that?
Yeah, that fight, I've been bored by Klitschko for the last 10 years, bored out of my mind by Klitschko. But that fight, that man turned up. And like I said, he was obsessed about making his name back. But for me, don't discount the Bellew fight. That will entertain you. I'm telling you, that fight will entertain you. Do not think that Bellew is going to be, the fight is just a silly fight where the man's going to get put in hospital or whatever. That fight will entertain you. Trust me, that fight will entertain you. Whether it's the right fight to build Wilder's name or whatever, but what it will do, it will put tons of money in the man's pocket and it will build his name in the UK because he wants a big fight. He wants a big fight. And the problem is Wilder, I don't fully know who's representing him, but they're not representing him right. Because they have not built Wilder correctly. Because he hasn't fought no one. He hasn't had no defining fights. He's fought people that are not even anywhere near the level of Joshua Klitschko. You know, so I agree with you guys with Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte, it would be the better fight. And I think that would be a fight. Because Dillian Whyte could take a punch, man, and slip a punch. And that would be a fight. That would be a better fight in terms of, because that would be a spectacle as well. But as an entertainment, that thing, the Bellew fight in terms of the build up, the trash talk, everything that will come up to that fight, it will be entertaining. That's all I wanted to say.
Well, all right, brother. Thank you for calling in. Listen, if you're trying to join us on Skype, you must send a friend request so that I can add you. Make sure that all your Skype settings are up to date because there are new versions of Skype and you need to be merged into the call. And if you're watching this on YouTube, do us a favor. We just ask that if you enjoy what you're watching, you hit that thumbs up button because it helps with the visibility of the show, puts us in the eyes of other boxing fans that haven't yet found this safe haven where you can come here, call, and voice your opinion on all these topics. And we try to go live at least twice a day, making it a daily boxing show for you, kind of like ESPN, but just boxing, right? Not like some of these other sellouts that choose to do other sports like Mixed Combat Radio over here. Let's go out to some of our alumni and get their opinion on this.
Don't even respect your ass. That's why it's time for the doctor to check your ass, nigga.
Fight Doctor in the house on Rick James status as always. What's going on, gentlemen?
Fight Doc, you sound a little down and out, man. Bring some energy, man. I mean, Wilder Bellew, we got the leaked audio. They're negotiating. They're talking about selling out arenas in Liverpool. Bad decision for Wilder or just the right thing to do?
Well, look, at the end of the day, if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. Boxing is a business. And look, these guys, they have a couple of years to make however much money they're going to make, and then it is what it is. So if that's the biggest fight for the most amount of money, that's available that's on the table, then why not? Now, as far as legacy is concerned, it's a joke. I mean, first of all, it's a joke that Bellew in his first and only outing at heavyweight has beaten a better heavyweight than Wilder has ever faced. And then two, it's a joke that this fight is even a consideration. I mean, it's a joke, but, it makes money, so it makes sense. Still a joke. But I think that's what the heavyweight division has come to nowadays. And I think maybe boxing as a whole, it's a joke. Okay, you got middleweights fighting welterweights, and it's crazy. It's just stupid. It's a joke. Competitive fights are far and few in between. I mean, we had a good competitive matchup Saturday and a good fight, but I mean, it's a joke. Guys are ducking guys, and guys are taking money fights. And it's just,
who's ducking who? Who's ducking who? What division are we talking? We're talking heavyweights. Who's ducking who in the heavyweight division in your eyes?
Well, I'm not aware of anyone who's ducking anybody.
All right. Well, you're saying it. I mean, you're saying guys are ducking guys. Guys are taking money fights.
Well, I'm speaking in terms of boxing in general.
Okay.
There's been plenty of ducking going on.
Yeah. Well, let's stick to the heavyweight division today, just for argument. I mean, just for topic's sake, let's stick to the heavyweight division.
Okay. Well, listen. The fight that needs to happen is Joshua Wilder, and I think Wilder wins that fight, probably by knockout. I saw Klitschko land some really clean right hands on Joshua consistently that would worry me if I'm in Joshua's corner facing Wilder. Because, listen, that right hand that Klitschko dropped Joshua with in the 6th round, had that been Wilder landing the same right hand, Joshua wouldn't have got back up. And that right hand, that wasn't one off. He landed a lot of clean right hands.
Well, Fight Doctor, I want to go ahead and thank you, obviously, for calling in. Let me get to some other callers. For the people that are saying Fury, Matt, again, I mean, we do shows on Fury's tweets, and we always kind of say the same thing, unless your tune has changed. He's not really.
And even before that, when we had that epic confrontation with Tyson Fury getting in the ring against Wilder, remember that? And then right after that, Fury vacated the belts and went into rehab. So, I mean, you can say that Tyson Fury called Wilder out, but then you have to add, then Tyson Fury obviously has some life issues and is no longer boxing right now. Obviously, he's in Spain training, hopefully getting him back in shape. But that you can't use that call out as Wilder's ducking Fury. That makes no sense.
I find it a bit odd myself. I'm just making sure that I'm not on the, wrong side of things. Let me get to Donald in Richmond, California.
What's up, y'all? Hey, look, so let's just be realistic here. Because Bellew beat Hay, Bellew was already on his cash-out fight. He did not think he was going to beat Hay. Nobody thought he was going to beat Hay. So now here we are again putting Bellew in another cash-out fight. That's why he's the sacrificial lamb, because he was already put on the chopping block with David Hay. Nobody expected him to win that fight. So we're going to put him on the chopping block again with Deontay Wilder to make it a little more enthusiastic to see Joshua and Wilder down the line. So I believe that even though it is a shit fight, I still would like to see it. And when Wilder goes out there, if Wilder is listening, when you go out there, fucking knock the shit out of Bellew. And I'm talking about lay him the fuck out like how you did Spilka. And after you lay him the fuck out, if Joshua is there, go to the ropes and say, now fucking come see me now. I laid him the fuck out. Bring the stretcher in here and get him the fuck out of here. Who's next? And if Dylan White, I think that will be a very good fight. Dylan White, I think that will be a good fight. Because of how good of a fight Dylan White gave Joshua, I believe that it will be a really good matchup for Wilder to fight Dylan White, because I don't think that Wilder will hit Dylan White with one Wilmo punch and knock him down. I think that he'll get him down, and I think Dylan White will get back up and take some more punishment. So I would say that the Dylan White fight would, if Wilder beats Dylan White, I would say it would be like a late stoppage because I don't see Dylan White going down off just one punch. And then after that, let Joshua take like two fights. 2 mandatories or whoever's in line, get those 2 fights. And then after that, after Wilder fucking beats Bellew and Dylan White, look, there's no excuse why Joshua shouldn't fight him at all. I mean, I would see no excuse at all. At that point, we would actually really have to say that Joshua is ducking, And, also if Wilder was probably to fight Parker, I mean, I think that Parker would be a good fight too, because with Parker he's more of a boxing heavyweight, and if Parker could stay out of the way of those punches, I would only see Parker as the only one who could probably box his way to a decision with Wilder. But again, I don't know where Parker's chin is. I don't know if Parker could take a shot from Wilder and not go down or get up and still box his way to a decision. But that's what I think about this, and I think that's what should happen.
Donald, thank you for calling in, brother. Let me get back out to the Skype machine. We got somebody going crazy, not muted here. We're gonna go Zahid.
How are you, brother?
What's up, brother?
What's up? I'm a big fan of your show, and I just want to point out, I don't think we should be blaming the boxer at this current moment in time. The promoters have got the boxers in a loophole with these guys, people in the guys' ears telling them they should do this, do that. It's not a boxer's world anymore. Now, anyone who enters the ring is a warrior in a sense, and they all want to fight the best, have their legacy. But at the end of the day, you got guys like Eddie Hearn telling Anthony Joshua do this, and you got guys telling Wilder do this and that. Now, 2 guys I really respect in the sport, I would say, are Vasyl Lomachenko and Keith Thurman. These guys, they haven't got the spotlight, and they want to fight the best all the time. Now, you got Keith Thurman, he's fighting on free TV, and he's fighting the best. Now, I think what Wilder should do, I like Wilder. He's going out to Russia. He wanted to go out to Russia, fight Povetkin. Not many guys would do that. I think Wilder should try and get a David Haye fight or a Bellew fight. Now, I think if David Haye beat Bellew, then Wilder Haye would be perfect. Could you hear me, brother?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, I think a Haye Wilder fight would be a great fight.
Why would the public accept the Haye Wilder fight after Bellew beat him up?
I'm going to tell you something. At the beginning, everyone said, why would anyone accept a Bellew Haye fight? Now, I think British fans would accept Haye, because even after Haye beat Klitschko, they still wanted to see Haye, Tyson Fury, Haye, Chisora. Haye's got a big popularity, and I think, for me personally, as a boxing fan, a purist, I would like to see Haye versus Wilder. Now, I think Anthony Joshua, he's going to be protected for a couple fights. He's definitely going to be protected for a couple fights. And I think Tyson Fury is not in the picture right now. And Luis Ortiz will not sell here against Wilder. Luis Ortiz, Wilder will not sell here. I know the other caller said it would, but it just wouldn't, In the sport of boxing, there's only 3 stars left. Manny Pacquiao, Canelo, and Anthony Joshua. Those are the 3 stars. No one else is going to sell 500,000 pay-per-views. No one else is going to sell 1 million pay-per-views. Canelo and Pacquiao can't even sell 1 million pay-per-views. So we just need, as fans, to pressure the promoters. We need to boycott the pay-per-views. We need to do this and that so we get the best fights. I think Wilder's best option, personally, would be Bellew or would be Haye, personally. Thanks for the call. I'm a big fan of the show, brother.
Well, thank you so much for calling in, brother, giving us your perspective. We're going to keep moving down the phone lines. We got someone in the 202. I believe that's DC, right? First time calling in?
Nah, man, it's my second time calling in.
What's your name, brother?
Symbol, man. This Symbol Nest.
Oh, man, what's up with Matt these days, bro? Dropping all. Oh, that's right. He got a new computer.
Nah, it's all good, though.
Nah, he got a new computer. He's got a new computer.
It's cool though. Because yo, Matt, I'm giving you props too, man. Because everything you say, man, I'm seriously, I'll be agreeing with, man. You on point with it. But listen, really quickly, Ness, man. I know Deontay, your boy. I like Deontay a lot. You know, everybody keeps bringing up the fact of, you know, okay, if, you know, Deontay lands that right on Joshua when he got up, you know what I'm saying? But the real question is, if Wladimir would have landed that right on Wilder, would he have gotten up? Nobody keep on asking that. We still got questions about Wilder. He needs to fight somebody that's going to answer some of these questions that I have. And the only person that's sitting out there for me is Luis Ortiz. That's really all I can say. Now, I can tell you from a business perspective, man, yeah, it does make sense to make the Bellew fight from a business perspective to set up a money fight. And I never thought that I agree with the fight doctor, but it's a shit show. It shouldn't happen. It really shouldn't happen. But there's still those questions that's out there about Wilder, man, that needs to be answered. And Nestor was wrong too, man. Luis Ortiz did call out Wilder when his fight with what's name got canceled. So,
no, he called out Wilder. He called out Wilder when Warchick's fight got canceled for Warchick passing positive, and Ortiz was not on VADA. How you gonna fight for the WBC? You're not on VADA.
Yeah. All right, man. I mean, but he did call him out still, and then that was the excuse that was after that. But I'm saying it's there for him to take that and to make the fight though. You know, I don't think that there's many hurdles there. I mean, that's you making it seem like people don't want to fight Deontay, and there's some people out there that do.
Which ones?
Like, both of them ain't really big.
Which ones?
Luis Ortiz wants to fight Deontay, man. Luis Ortiz wants to fight Deontay. He does.
And when could he have so tell me when he could have legitimately fought him? When he was signed to Golden Boy, or when he was taking a fight after Warchick tested positive and also has his own dirty history. And not me. Deontay said he won't fight him unless he's doing VADA because he tested positive. Not me. So him saying, yo, I'll fight you. He should be saying, yo, I'll fight you and do the VADA that you're requesting. Not saying, yo, I'll fight you. Anybody could say that. The same way that Deontay said when Joseph Parker's opponent fell out, Deontay said, yo, I'll fight you too. That didn't happen.
Yes, he is saying that he fight him. He said that he would fight him right when this other fight got canceled. But y'all want the whole but he's not taking VADA. Yeah, that's the roadblock that
no, not there for him. Not Wilder is saying he needs to do VADA if he's gonna fight him.
And it's not even Wilder, it's the sanctioning body that his belt belongs to. The WBC is the one saying Wilder and his opponent have to do VADA testing. It's not really Wilder, it's the sanctioning body.
No, but Wilder's call. I mean, it's in my interview.
Wilder is agreeing with the WBC mandate and their program that fighters have to be drug tested.
He said this has happened to him too many times. He keeps going through training camps and then people testing positive. So yeah, he's not fighting anybody that's not tested.
I read the interview, Matt.
All right, so then how could you not factor that in? How could you?
They had to do because it's still there for him. That's the fight is still there for him. The only thing they had to do is push the fight date back and run Luis Ortiz and VADA.
If it's so simple, if it's so simple, why have fighters still not signed up for VADA, brother? Stop acting like it's simple. People are not signing up for a reason, man.
I get that. I know.
So you want Wilder? Are you of the camp that wants Wilder to still go to Russia and fight Povetkin even though he tested positive? Because that's what you're saying. You're saying right now that Lewis is known. Well, you're saying Lewis is known for testing positive, but the test isn't important.
He tested positive. How long ago? Okay, wait a minute.
I don't know. How long ago did Mosley test positive? How long ago did Mosley test positive and we don't let him forget it?
Got you. I got you all that. That's fine and good. But it's still, the fight is still there to be made. You guys are making, or I should say you, Ness, because you're making excuses for your boy a little bit by saying it's like, okay, well, he tested positive then. They can't do that. Like I said, push the fight back. Like, the fight could be made now. I don't even understand why we really having a discussion about it.
Then call Ortiz's camp and tell him, hey, why haven't you signed up with VADA? Why have you not signed the deal? It's
not made now. Why?
Hold on, Ness. You're blaming Wilder's team solely, but isn't it on Ortiz to sign the contract too, and on Ortiz to do VADA? Just like it's on Wilder to do VADA, just like it's on Wilder to sign the contract, it's on both of them.
It's Wilder's fault here. It's Wilder's fault. He's hiding behind VADA, according to these guys.
But 5 years ago, we were saying we need to clean up the sport. 2 years ago, we were saying we need to clean up the sport. Now we should ignore the cleaning up the sport for these fights.
In the name of big fights.
I can understand being critical of VADA, but it's there. It's their program. It's the WBC's program. If you fight for their belt, you need to do VADA testing for the entire fucking camp. If you don't like that, get over it.
No.
Period.
Yo, Matt, I completely agree with everything you say. Yes, go ahead and VADA test. That's all good. What I'm telling you is that Luis Ortiz is there. And you're absolutely right. It should not be all on Wilder. It should be Luis Ortiz also. But the fight is there to be made. It's just like we had mad questions about AJ going in to fight Klitschko. We still got questions about Wilder, what he can do. And there's a fight there for him to be made to answer those questions. You know what I'm saying? And like the caller said before, when you a star, it doesn't matter about numbers. You a star. You a star. One of the ways to make Wilder a star is to fight people. To fight some people. You can't take that away from him.
Yep.
So what about the double?
I understand it.
What about the double standard that you're setting? You're saying Wilder should have took a big fight on short notice by the name of Luis Ortiz when Warchick tested positive. Let's just,
man.
That's what you're saying, right? That's what you're saying, right?
I just told you that they should have pushed the fight back and rolled him into VADA. And that's and they could have had the fight made.
Okay.
And rolled Ortiz into VADA, not Warzone.
I didn't hear any of that. No, hold on a minute, Matt. I didn't hear any of that. If you're saying they should have rescheduled, listen to me. If you're saying they should have rescheduled and signed them up to VADA, absolutely. But then again, check the double standard. Well, there is no difference in Huey Fury pulling out because of medical reasons, Wilder calling out Joseph, and Joseph pushing his fight back and doing a unification. Come on, let's just be honest. All these guys are doing the same, but you guys are singling out certain guys.
No.
Like this. So Luis Ortiz. So wait a minute. Luis Ortiz Wilder somehow bigger. Wait a minute, Bobby. I'm gonna let you talk the way I've been letting you talk. So don't act like I'm not letting you talk. So you telling me now Luis Ortiz Wilder is bigger than Joseph Wilder unification, and we can't use your same logic and push it back and reschedule.
Nah. Yo, first of all, this is the first time you brought up the whole. Nobody was talking Joseph Parker because I totally agree that Joseph Parker should have pushed his fight day back and fought
we
Wilder.
have talked about it. For the record, we have talked about it.
Right. Yeah, we wasn't talking about that with this conversation right now. We was talking about Wilder and we was talking about Luis Ortiz. Nobody brought up Joseph Parker's name. You just brought him up, and I totally agree with you that that's exactly what should have happened. But Joseph Parker was trying to do his own thing right now, and I still think that he should fight Joseph Parker over Bellew. Honestly, I think that that's also a money fight too. But again, we still got those questions that's out there about Wilder, and one of the people that can answer those questions is Luis Ortiz, man. I really do feel that, and that would shut a lot of people up, man. That would really shut a lot of people up. That's all I'm saying. And
all right, Symbol.
It's like, I mean, I understand that, like, I'm saying.
No, I hear you, brother. You're all right. All I'm saying is Joseph did the same thing. He had the opportunity to push it back and make a unification fight. And let me tell you something, all right? For everybody not saying Joseph ain't ducking, I got an interview when I went to Alabama, and Joseph Parker is in Alabama for Azunu with Kevin Barry, the trainer of Azunu, the same trainer of Joseph Parker. The interview, Wilder says, we invited Joseph. He's going to be at my fight. He's supposed to get into the ring. So is it Deontay Wilder's fault that Joseph didn't want to do any of those things after he seen him knock out Gerald Washington? Is it Deontay's fault that Joseph Parker decided to go negotiate with the Furies, who's obviously a bigger fight? I mean, I don't understand. I just don't understand. This is black and white. 904, you're up.
Yeah, what up? What up? It's T, man. How y'all living?
T, what's going on, brother? Been a minute.
Man, yeah, it has been a minute, man. I'm out here in Jacksonville, one of my partners, but
in Florida,
listen, man. If Florida, that's why it's 904.
Damn, yo, I was gonna. We're planning on going out there, man. We're kind of contemplating should we go out to this fight that's happening in Florida with Shannon Briggs.
So, shit, if y'all going, let me know, man. I'll make it happen.
Nah, man, that shit is all the way in June, bro. You won't be there till then. But talk to me, man. We're discussing this situation. The leak audio. Obviously, Wilder and Bellew are having some sort of negotiations or discussions, rather, should we say, and just discussing the possibility of what kind of stadiums they could fill. What do you think about this fight? Is this a lose-lose for Wilder, or is this the door that he needs to go through to become more of a draw and a star?
See, this is the thing, right? American fans know what Deontay Wilder is. He stops everybody. He knocks people out. He's done it in 38 fights, and he still doesn't do the numbers that Anthony Joshua or somebody else in the UK does, simply for the fact that the UK fans are more invested in boxing than the American fans are. So I don't really think there's much more that he could do in terms of the American market. Even if he does fight Ortiz, I don't think it's going to do a great amount of numbers for him personally. I'm talking as a casual, not a hardcore. Mind you, you know I'm a hardcore fan. I'm just speaking from the perspective of the market. There's nothing more he can do in the U.S. to make him a bigger name. Bellew is a much easier fight. Is he going to stop him? Probably, right? There's a 90% chance he stops Bellew. But he will gain that amount of fans to make the fight bigger because, like you said, there's that storyline. Joshua and Bellew are friends. He knocks out his friend. He's got to avenge it. I'll go one further. I would say Wilder fights Bellew, stops Bellew, then he fights Parker. That means he has 2 of the belts. Joshua, give him 1 more mandatory, make him fight Pulev or Ortiz, him to take his pick, whoever, which one. He's already a household name. He's a good fighter. He's got momentum. Let him fight one of them 2 bulls, right? Then you got him having a mandatory defense, so you can't strike him for not fighting a mandatory. He's got 2 belts. Joshua would have stopped Bellew, has a big name, fights Parker against the other belt. There's no reason why this fight can't happen and be the biggest fight in boxing to date. People just got to be patient. Put your own feelings aside and look at it from what these guys are doing. Deontay Wilder has 38 fights and he's still not a household name. What more you got to do? He's knocking everybody else out. You got to do something else. Got to have a new wrinkle. Let him beat up on these UK cats. What's everybody mad about? I don't understand.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, look, I'm not happy about the fight at all. I would rather him fight like Dylan White, Joseph Parker, all that. But if this is what we're gonna get, is what we're gonna get. We've never had any control over what we can get.
If ultimately you're gonna get the unification fight with a little bit more seasoned Joshua, who has another like an Ortiz or Pulev on his record, that gives him a little bit of time to grow and learn, because he only had 18, 19 fights. He's still fairly green. Give him one more solid fight, he'll be more prepared for the Wilder fight. Let Wilder get the bigger name. They can even break the fucking Klitschko Joshua record if they do it that way. You have 2 guys at the peak of their career that are a little bit more polished, ready to go. That would be the biggest heavyweight fight we've had in years. Let the beat build, man. Let it build. I know Bellew's a sacrificial lamb. He's not going to win the fucking fight. He's got 74-inch reach. He's been stopped by a light heavyweight who also knocks everybody else. We really don't know how bad his chin is, because I ain't seen anybody that Stevenson hit that didn't get up either. So you call that what it is. But, I mean, let the beat build. Let those 2 guys go at it maybe at the end of this year or a year from now, and then see what happens. We have one heavyweight that's undisputed. I don't think that's happened since Holyfield. 100% undisputed.
All right, T, all the way in Toronto by way of Florida this time around. We're going to go to Terrell. Talk to us.
Yo, look.
We hear you, but you're a bit choppy.
Hello?
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah. What's up, man? What's up, Ness? What's up, Matt? I guess I just want to say a couple of things. I seen the dude talk. I don't know who the dude was, but he was talking about you should fight Luis Ortiz. I hear that Luis Ortiz is the boogeyman of the division. Luis Ortiz is a boogeyman. When you're a boogeyman, you're knocking dudes' heads off their shoulders. You're scaring everybody. If you've seen Luis Ortiz last fight, he's not a boogeyman. Earl Spencer's a boogeyman. Even if you want to go back further, Ernie Shea was a boogeyman of the division. So I just wanted to say that. And as far as Wilder fighting Bellew, it shouldn't happen. We have weight classes for a reason. This is dangerous. This is a dangerous sport. You see Spilker, who was an undersized heavyweight, almost died. I thought they was going to put the cuffs on Wilder after he hit him. This is dangerous. And if Joshua is friends with Bellew, friends don't risk other friends' chins, just like friends don't let other friends drive drunk. If Joshua is the man, you risk your chin out there and you go take that belt from Wilder. Point blank, period. And point blank, period. And another thing, Dylan White is a bum. Oh, we should fight Dylan White. Yeah, I know y'all seen Dylan White versus Chisora. Like, come on, dog. If Wilder's a bum, both of those dudes is bums. They would have got iced in the same night. Both of them. If you've seen that fight, like, come on. I don't want to see Dylan White. I don't want to see Dylan White versus Wilder either. It needs to be Wilder and Joshua, not Wilder and Bellew. If that's your friend, you wouldn't put your friend in that position. Risk your chin. You the man. You got the skills. You need to fight Wilder, man. No Dylan White, no Chisora. Those dudes is bums. Let them fight Ortiz and let Stavern fight them dudes and they build themselves up. I don't want to see Dylan White. I don't want to see Chisora. I want to see Wilder and Joshua. If Joshua is really the man, and I believe he got the skills, then he needs to get it done. He needs to get it done. And one more thing, I heard last night, Casual and these dudes, like, we really need to stop. We all watch boxing, but certain things have to stop. Don't compare Anthony Joshua to Muhammad Ali. I heard him compare. I don't know if it was Earl Spence or Terrence Crawford to Pernell Whitaker. Like, can we please stop? You need to watch a couple fights before you start talking like that. That's crazy. It's disrespectful, but that's all I got, man.
Rel, man, you got to understand, this is a call-in show. Everyone has an opinion. You're not going to agree with all those opinions, but everyone's not going to be, of the same opinion, obviously, right? Marcus, D.C., talk to us. Washington, what up?
Yo, what's good? Hey, this is the British show. Am I supposed to use my British accent and tell you about these blokes, Wilder and them? I think Wilder's stuck in a hard place, man, because of his injury. I think he was on path to fight some of these guys. He had to wait a minute to get over his injury with his biceps in his right hand, hitting those big blokes on top of their head all the time.
Yo, that's pretty good. Let's see what the chat's saying.
Yo,
Matt,
so look,
why you fucking
it,
up his accent with
Wilder's
your soundbite? Damn, Matt's such a hater with his
Yo,
soundbite.
It was funny. I was laughing with him, not at him. Come on. That was a good one, Marcus.
He was laughing with me. Yo, check it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Look, check this out. Look, man, Wilder, he a little behind the 8 ball. He was on that path, man. Listen, I'm going to say two things. Listen, people did not say when Kellerman asked Joshua about Wilder, he was like, when he said, when given the opportunity to American fans, he said, oh, no, Wilder's a great fighter. He said, I'm concentrating on my 20th fight. And if Wilder's the 20th fight, so be it. So he never shunned it. You know what I'm saying? He never said he wouldn't take the fight. Okay? So that's number one. Number two, I agree it doesn't have to be the next fight, but I think it should be some public pressure for Wilder. And I think Wilder needs to do what a lot of small fighters had to do. A lot of small fighters had to fight in Japan and in Mexico because there was no market for it here in the United States. And I think Wilder needs to pack his bags, and I think he needs to make his way over to the UK. And even if he fights an American fighter, I think he needs to fight him in the UK. Because I think ultimately the two UK fighters that people are going to definitely want to see him fight, which will be Fury and or Joshua, he can't hurt himself by taking his fights and making his fights over there. If all these dudes have fights, then man, call Andy Ruiz, tell Al Heyman to call Bob Arum and let Andy Ruiz and Wilder get over there in the O2 or you know what I'm saying, somewhere a smaller venue to hold like 25 or 30 at Manchester Arena and go ahead and bang that fight out, and then let Joshua to figure out who he wants to fight next, and then let's set up for Wilder and Joshua by the end of the year. I think that's feasible, and I don't think that's the push out. I think that ideally I would like to see him fight King Kong. But if Kong don't want that needle, I mean, there ain't nothing you can really do about it. At the end of the day, there's nothing you can do about it. So, I mean, Joshua did say he'll fight him. I mean, Joshua didn't even say he needed the next fight. Joshua said if he my 20th fight, he my 20th fight. So be it. So I think we're on the right path. I think we are asking for the right fights. I don't think that two big brutal fights have to happen back to back. And then another thing people keep saying, Wilder doesn't throw as straight as straight as a right as Vladimir. We're getting into the thing of what's going to happen when Danny Jacobs hit him with the uppercut that Kell Brook hit Triple G with, and it doesn't necessarily happen that way. Wilder throws more of a looping overhandish right. It's not the same right, and nothing says because one fighter is able to hit a fighter with an exact punch that you can do that. So
Marcus always punching after the bell. For those asking, Lewis is enrolled.
Yes,
I don't know as of when, though. They don't give you as of when date. I mean, in New Jersey, fell asleep on us yesterday. What's up, brother?
Nah, I didn't fall asleep. You know what I mean? The police was rolling up on me, and I had too many things going on, so I put the phone down, G. I ain't fall asleep.
All right. What's going on, brother? What do you think about this whole situation?
Yo, shout out to Marcus. Yeah. First of all, shout out to Marcus from D.C. He's been banging the last few calls, man. But look, it's a situation where Wilder, whether he's fighting Bellew, however you say his name, whether he's fighting Bellew or Dylan White, even if he fights both of those cats at the O2 Arena, right? You got one weekend, Anthony Joshua fighting Fury if he can get him. And see, that's the thing. I keep talking about, I don't know if anybody else mentioned it, but the ace in the hole, it's not going to be Tyson Fury that he fights. He's going to fight Huey Fury because Tyson ain't never going to be ready. So he's going to fight Huey Fury, let Tyson fight Bellew, and perhaps if he makes it to Dylan White, cool, and then the Joshua fight somewhere down the line. I feel like if Joshua and Wilder fought now, I can respect the fact that either one of those guys is going to be, as a hardcore, as a fan, as a student, I could respect the fact that either one of those guys is going to reign for the next 7 to 10 years. But in terms of the business end, and in terms of the trying to get more out of it and attract more fans to boxing, I can't see them giving Wilder a little bit of shake, as Marcus would say, a little bit of shake, put the Bellew in the White, and then build up to the Joshua fight while Joshua fights Fury and Tyson if he ever gets it together. But I don't think that'll happen. That's my call.
I mean, thank you for calling in. We're going to Cincinnati with the 513, I believe. Is this your first time calling in?
Yes, sir.
What's your name, brother? Where you calling in from? $513, you're up.
Hello.
513.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we hear you now,
Hello?
brother. We hear you now. Where are you calling in from? What's your name? First time calling?
Yeah, yes, sir. My name is CK. I'm calling from Cincinnati.
How long have you been listening, brother?
Man, I've been listening about a year and a half, man. Y'all got the best boxing channel on the net.
Oh, man. Well, you're awesome just for saying that. You know the tradition around here. We're going to have you reintroduce yourself. I know our international callers don't really get this traditional intro, but we like to give everybody this one whenever we can. So,
ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut,
CK from Cincinnati.
we'll talk to us, CK, man. What do you think about this situation? We got some leaked audio here. Wilder, Bellew, they're talking filling stadiums in Liverpool. Bellew ultimately lost to Adonis Stevenson at lightweight. He's gone on to capture a cruiserweight title, move up to heavyweight, and beat David Haye. But there's some asterisks there. I mean, what do you think about all this?
Excellent format. Have Wilder, have Deontay beat Bellew, hopefully, and then Joshua, have him fight whoever, build up the fight, and then they go for the masterpiece. Because this is a 50-50 fight in my eyes. Joshua against Wilder, 50-50. What you think?
I mean, 50-50 is the heavyweight division, right?
I mean, both of them undefeated. Both of them hit like a train. I mean, I got to go with the home team. Both of them are good guys, but I'm going with I got to roll with my man Deontay Wilder from the U.S., Alabama. You know what I mean? And I think he's somebody that can carry the throne. You know, be one of the greats of all time if he keep going. Because he looks real good. Because Gerald Washington had him beat, and he just came back with one right hand and ended the fight.
That is true. He was down on the cards for sure.
Yeah, he was down, came back, and I think this guy, he got the goods. But this the thing you got to look out for, man. Joshua got a mean uppercut, and I was surprised he landed that on a tall guy like he did. You know, that surprised me. But when you fighting gold medalists, they always come through. You know, but who are you picking in this Kovalev Ward fight?
Well, when we're talking that subject, man, we'll get to it. But I'm probably gonna go with my initial pick the first time, Ward. But who knows, right?
And very quickly, I just want to. Is the caller done? My bad.
Yeah, he's gone.
All right. Very quickly, Luis Ortiz tested positive 10 years ago. According to his manager, he has tested 12 times.
He tested positive in 2014.
My bad. I'm just using the quotes that he said. He said he has been tested 12 times since that positive test. I don't know if those tests have been carbon isotope. I don't know if they've been blood and urine. I have no idea, but he's been tested 12 times. Take that for what it is. And the WBC rankings, obviously, Bermain Stavern is the mandatory, but Luis Ortiz is ranked right below him. So it's Puvlev and then Dylan White.
Well, there you go.
Just to add some facts.
Let's get to Mr. Anonymous. Anonymous?
Hey, what's up?
What's up? Who's this?
This is Dick Bukaki calling from shit-fuck Cockheadville.
Damn,
I just wanted to say I think the fight's going to be good because, like, I think he's going to get down on his knees and use his teeth to bite the other guy's cock off. You know what I mean?
Wow, we're getting pranked. It always feels good. I mean, that guy literally waited all that time
to talk about.
I mean, he should have at least said his like Instagram or something, gain some followers. Weirdo.
Yeah, but now he's just a nobody and anonymous. You know, like you don't even have a phone number we can talk to. You know, like I would have called you back.
I know. Let's go out to some real callers.
If you know like I know, you should lie low. Killer, I used to get it in Ohio.
Oh, wait, where's the button?
Hello.
Jay Will, what's up, brother?
What's good, man? What's good, man? My bad. I was kind of on the delay, but yeah, man, this Bellew talk, man, it's really getting kind of silly, man. It's very Amir Khan, Canelo-ish, very Kell Brook, Triple G-ish. This doesn't make sense. It may make dollars, but it don't make sense, man. Like a couple other people said a couple of callers ago, man, they make weight divisions for a reason. The only people who really are allowed to, as they say, quote unquote, dare to be great, is people with the resume and the skill set to do it. Case in point, we didn't really have an issue with Pacquiao went up to fight De La Hoya or Margarito. We didn't have an issue when Mayweather went up to fight De La Hoya or Canelo. We don't have issues for certain fighters who obviously have pound for pound skill sets, which Tony Bellew obviously doesn't have. And when people keep trying to say this, to me, the comment of David Haye being a better win than Deontay than ever got, I mean, if you want to just look at the name on paper and say, yes, David Haye is but if we actually look at the fight, look at David Haye coming into the fight, and look at the type of fighter he was when Tony fought him, you'd be foolish to say that. I mean, case in point, Stevenson, Kovalev, light heavyweights will go in and knock out David Haye right now as we speak. So that's not saying much beating David Haye at this point of his career. I just hope people who call in, man, please become a student of the game. You know, watch old fights. You know, don't be scared to learn something when you watch a fight. Don't just look for a knockout, because some of you guys are getting dumber by the fight. You're not getting smarter by the fight. You're getting dumber by the fight, and that's my call.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for calling in, Jay Will. We're going to go out to Miami from Ohio to Miami. 305. First time calling in?
Yes, sir.
First time calling. How long have you been listening, brother?
Oh man, well, at least a year or two.
Nice, nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this traditional intro. You let us know your name and where you're calling from, and get right into your call, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Hey, that's he, Mr. C, a.k.a. Raheem. I took my kids to the fair in Miami, and guess who I saw? I saw Luis Ortiz with his wife. I told my son who speaks Spanish to ask him if it's okay if I, spoke to him and approached him and got a picture. He was cool as heck. His English isn't that good, but one thing he did say to me is, when I mentioned Joshua and Wilder, he said, them motherfuckers scared. Now, my mother taught me not to be an instigator and instigate fights, but this is the fight game. Now, if Ortiz and Wilder or Ortiz and Joshua can't sell, then either the fans suck or these promoters suck, because their job is to promote the fight. So you telling me Don King in his heyday couldn't make some kind of big story or fight behind it? Man, these excuses got to go. If you want to fight Wilder, push the issue. Push the issue like you do any fight. Tell your promoter to make it happen. These excuses got to go. The man can fight. Anybody with sense can see that Ortiz can fight. Man, they should get it cracking, and we got to stop all these excuses and letting these guys off the hook. If he's a mandatory, fight the man. Don't find no way around it. Fight the man. That's my call.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for calling in. Matt, you got that?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
You always say that, and we didn't even have Symbol. Symbol's even a Patreon, bro. We're going to go to...
I have the number.
337. Yeah, you always got the number. We're talking about the name and the state, man. Get your life right. 337, you're up. Who's this first-time caller? Who's this?
First-time caller, Sean from Corpus Christi, Texas.
Oh, damn. How long you been listening? We wanted to give you that traditional intro, and you even shocked us, man. I got to play my shock soundbite. That's the home of Mario
I've been
Munguia,
listening
man.
for about 6 months, but
Yo, you know that's the home of
listening
Mario
for about 6
Munguia, right?
months, but,
Corpus Christi?
I did not know that.
Yeah, Mario's over there, one of our hosts. All this time, we didn't know that Corpus Christi existed, man. It's actually a real place. But listen.
Hey, man, well,
Go ahead,
Go
brother.
ahead, Ness, I'm sorry.
Nah, go ahead. Don't worry about it. Go ahead and start your call, man. We're talking Wilder and this, I don't know, this audio running around.
No. Hold on. First time call intro.
Yeah, that's right. Fucking dropping
Come
all
on.
the balls here.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Sean out of Corpus Christi, Texas.
Sean, so what's up,
Some
brother?
of these callers today haven't been coming. All right, man. So I have some thoughts. I've been listening over the last couple of days, and I'm with your producer when she said, "Fuck Joshua for calling out Fury after the fight." You know, he's on top of the world. He just beat Klitschko. Why is he going to call out a 350-pound man who's in a donut shop eating donuts every morning? That was my first point. Second point, you know, both these guys, Joshua and Wilder, can get another fight in before they fight each other. Joshua can make a fight with Bellew or whoever, make it in the UK, get some UK exposure, and then when they fight each other, fight in the US. It's a win-win for both of them. Joshua needs to become a name in the US. If he wins, you know, he'll be on top of the world. You already have ESPN all over him. And then if Deontay wins, then he has that credibility and he can finally jump to stardom that he hasn't been able to get by fighting anyone else. So I think it's a win-win for them to fight in the USA, and to say that they can't sell out a crowd here, I think is ridiculous. As long as they both get a win in their next fight and possibly have Wilder fight somebody in the UK, bring some of those fans over, and so they actually know who Wilder is, then I don't see a problem with them selling out in the US.
All right, Matt. Any?
Sorry, I dropped something. What do you want?
Well, I was just seeing if you had any rebuttal.
No, I thought great call. First time call. Ready to go, Sean. And I'm glad to know Corpus Christi exists on the map.
I know, right? Mario had us scooped out.
I thought it was like a ghost town or like a myth, like Atlantis. You know, I never know.
Atlantis.
Hey man, well, Corpus Christi might make a boxing comeback. I'm in the ring, so we'll see what happens.
Oh, nice. What, amateur?
Amateur coming up, trying to get some fights. Kind of a late start in 22, but we're gonna get it popping.
Oh,
not
nice.
from Corpus, so I'm not necessarily repping it, but you know.
Nice, man. Dan, you definitely need to get with Mario then so you could get hip to that Corpus Christi scene. There are a few fighters out there that at least get you some good sparring, man. Casey Ramos out there, Jerry Belmontes. I know he retired, but I'm pretty sure they're still at least sparring, right? Mr. Yes, sir, in Anaheim. Talk to us. Our boomerang. I mean,
Yes,
my producer's
yes.
all over the place.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Matt's a good guy. I like banter with him. But I'm just gonna go speak on, I guess, the facts that Matt did bring up. As far as this Bellew fight, it's trash. It's trash. Because no matter what, even if he wins and gets the great the European introduction, it's still gonna have an asterisk because Bellew is the smaller guy. If he wants a European introduction, I would say in this order from, I guess, number 3, maybe go against Chichora. He has a pretty good name over there as a heavyweight. He may be shit over here, but over there he has a good name. Then maybe go Dylan White. And if you can't get those 2 fights, I would say let him fight Pulev. Let him fight Pulev in the UK. Pulev is a pretty good European draw. Let him fight Pulev. That'll get that number 3 mandatory out. And what people are forgetting to mention is before Joshua and this Klitschko fight even happened, Luis Ortiz was that mandatory for that WBA belt. It would be him and Klitschko. And then somehow Eddie Hearn, who happened to sign King Kong and then just release him right after Klitschko was able to somehow get that shot with AJ, but that's a different story. And so now no one's mentioned about how come Luis Ortiz just don't get his mandatory spot back for that WBA. So if he gets the WBA mandatory, Pulev gets his mandatory, which is the IBF, but he still gets a title shot with the WBC. Both of those 2 guys take care of their mandatory fights, and they line up to fight each other. No mandatories are needed. They both took care of them. Title shots are right, and they line up for November something to fight each other. That's if we could get rid of Stavern and Parker, let them step up. But that's how it all worked out business-wise, the European introduction, and it all lines up for our belts. What do you guys think?
Man, I think that they're going to do what everyone else is saying, build it up, and make it the last fight, bro. The last fight on the mountaintop.
It's Ward Kovalev. You're gonna get build-up fights in between. Hopefully they just do what they did and just have a contract out where it's a year from now or 2 fights down the line, you guys fight each other. Make it in contract wording, because then it makes us, the fans, the public, way more accepting of it because it's a guarantee of that fight happening.
Yeah. All right. And whoever said that dumb about a fight shit, that shit had me dying laughing. That was a good one. Thank you, guys.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for calling in. Man, this looks like an international number. 353. You're up?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, where you calling in from, my friend?
Yeah, I'm calling in from UK, like Western Europe, innit?
What's up, brother? So what's on your mind?
Yeah, all I'm trying to say is I've been hearing to all these people calling in saying, like 4, 5 guys before you was saying, these times that Deontay Wilder offered Anthony Joshua a fight and he denied it. But that's not true, because there was an interview that was mentioned bringing up Deontay Wilder because these are 2 great prospects of the future boxing. You get me? These 2 are like Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson, both in like a time. You get me? So these times everyone's just gassing up everyone's just gassing up that Anthony Joshua is scared. That's what people in America are thinking. I was just listening to this, clicking into a few videos, and then I just seen this on YouTube. You get me? So I just wanted to put that off my chest. And two, Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder would be like a highlight fight, but it's too early for their careers. Like right now wouldn't be the time. Like Deontay Wilder is a good fighter, but I don't think he's fought as much experience like Anthony Joshua's fought. Like I've seen Deontay Wilder's knockouts and they're crazy, but the thing is, the people that he's been fighting are not tactical, put together fighters like David Hay and etc. Like he needs to go out and fight them. And I've been hearing people saying, "Oh, David Hay, Tony Bellew got easy fight. David Hay knocked him out." David Hay got injured. Tony Bellew wouldn't beat David Hay if it happened again, and Tony Bellew won't want to fight David Hay again. So the best fight for you lot to hope for Deontay Wilder is right now at these times. I would say David Hay or Dillian Whyte.
Well, all right, brother. David Hay or Dillian Whyte are the best hopes for Deontay Wilder?
Yeah, I say right now at these times that would be the best fight for him. Like Anthony Joshua's been through like step and step. He's gone through fighters like internationally. Even like he could have stayed and fought like just British boxers. You get me? But he's done that. He's gone about. He's seen like he's learned. He's got experience from all these fights. And now he's fought Wladimir Klitschko, who was #1 for like 10, 15 years. You get me? So if Deontay Wilder is as good as people say he is, he needs to develop it into more put together fighter, because Anthony Joshua is an all together fighter, a complete fighter.
I'm not understanding what you're saying. So you rather Anthony Joshua not fight Deontay Wilder right away is what you're saying?
I would like this fight to be happening like next year summer, like 2018
Why?
summer.
Why?
Why? Because, like, for example, yeah, if these lot were to fight now, the person that fights now, yeah, just gonna have it forever. Like they're gonna have it for the next 7, 8 years. They're gonna just rule the boxing federation throughout the world.
So what's wrong with
You get
that?
what I'm saying?
That's what Klitschko was able to do.
We're not gonna see both of them at their, but I'm trying to say I will see both of them at their best. Like Anthony Joshua right now is at his best, but I don't know if Deontay Wilder is. You get me?
Yeah, but you didn't know. But
listen,
listen, my friend. You didn't know that you didn't know that Joshua was at his best until he tested himself versus the best. But look, we got to keep the phone lines moving.
Yeah, and he's the best.
And what?
No, I knew Anthony Joshua was good after he. I knew Anthony Joshua was going to be a great after he dropped Dillian Whyte, and Dillian Whyte couldn't handle it. And then after he fought the other American fight after. And I was saying,
yeah, but that's you because you were a fan. That's you because you were a fan. The public, they didn't give him the crown to the heavyweight division based off Dillian Whyte and Charles Martin, my friend. I'm sorry to tell you. We're going to go back out to Miami with Hurricane Ray. What's going on?
Yo, what's going on, man? I'm here at work, so I'll make this pretty quick, man. Check this out. What a great fight this weekend, man. It was incredible. I was on the edge of my seat watching this fight. I have a couple notes here, man, that I want to touch on, man. Does Joshua really have the knockout power that we all thought that he had? You know, he wasn't able to knock out Klitschko with one punch. Another thing, you know, coming off this fight, I think the fight needs to be immediately made between Joshua and Wilder, and because they need to carry on that momentum. That momentum is hype right now. That heavyweight train is hype right now. It's at its peak right now. So it's only right that that they make that fight happen now. And I want that fight to happen on September, Mexican Independence Day, to take that date away from Oscar de la Hoya. You know, that'll be great to challenge them on that note and, you know, kind of derail their plans for Canelo for the future. And another thing, if that fight doesn't happen, then who will be next in line? Would it be Ortiz to fight Joshua, or Ortiz and Wilder? What do we want? And that's my call, fellas.
All right, Hurricane Ray. Larry in San Francisco.
Hey, big ups to the Boxing Voice.
hey, I say this every time I call, but I super appreciate y'all going, dang near 2 hours now on a on-demand show, spontaneous. So thank you spontaneous show. So thanks for that. Makes the work day go by cooler. So I appreciate that from y'all. Hey, Ness, I was trying to text you, but you're so busy, you probably didn't see it. Deontay Wilder messaged me and wanted me to tell you to get out his pocket and just be cool. There are worse things in the world than for him to get like 4 times his biggest payday for some real easy work in the UK and building up that Joshua fight. I agree with you. That's not something I necessarily as a fan want to see, but there are worse ways to spend your time waiting for that Joshua fight. I think that he is probably a lot more down for it than you are, from a financial point of view, and that's why fighters fight. But all kidding aside, I do hear you. I wish that the Wilder Joshua fight was next, but unless the mandatories get put aside, it ain't gonna be. So Nestor Gibbs, cheer up, get out that man's pocket, and I'm out.
Hey, Larry, FYI, that was Matt. Like always.
Oh, Larry, that was so good. Larry, that was like the call of the day, hands down. Hands down call of the day.
Lyndon in Michigan, what's going on?
Hey, how you guys doing today out there at the Boxing Voice?
What's up, brother?
I think if you got to put your promoter hat on, Deontay Wilder versus Tony Bellew, I want to say it's probably the best fight he can take from, as far as promoter standpoint. But of course, none of the hardcore probably really want to see that. We're going to probably definitely see him fight a Joseph Parker over Tony Bellew any day. But I think him fighting Tony Bellew will just it'll open up a lot more doors, and it'll put a bigger fan base to him and as far as Wilder in boxing.
All right. Well, Lyndon.
That's pretty much my call.
All right. Well, thank you for calling in. We're going to go to the Billy Goat in Pittsburgh.
What's up, Ness?
Another day, another podcast, brother.
Hey, Ness, I got a couple things. So before you cut me off, make sure you ask me. I got a couple things I want to go over. All right. First, I think Wilder should take that easy work that Bellew got for him and that easy money, knock his head clear off his shoulders.
90 seconds.
Oh, come on, man.
Why? Why should he take that fight?
Also, why? Because I think Klitschko is going to exercise his rematch clause, and he's going to be tied up with Joshua. I don't think Fury's even a factor. I think Klitschko is going to go on the referee stopped it prematurely.
60 seconds.
Just like they were both given a chance to weather the storm and go out on the shield if need be. But I think there's only 30 seconds left in the round. And he wasn't connecting with those punches. I mean, there was like at least 10, 12 punches that Joshua threw that didn't connect. He was defending himself. He had his hands up and he was defending himself. It's not like his hands were dropped and he was getting punched in the head. So I think Klitschko's going to go for that rematch. I think Wilder should go for Bellew because he's taking the fight over to England and the spotlight's going to be shown. Joshua's going to knock Klitschko out this time.
10 seconds.
Knock Bellew out, then you're going to have the superpowers. Just have this awesome showdown. Wilder, Joshua. Fight of the year next year. What do you think?
I mean, the writing's on the wall. The fans are okay with this fight not happening immediately. So the promoters are listening, guys. We've been to enough shows, fights, press conferences. We've spoken with enough people. They're listening. They pay attention to social media. They pay attention to what it is that you guys like and dislike. And I'm pretty certain we're going to be seeing this one now pretty soon here based on just the feedback. from all the listeners. But yeah, man, we want to thank you guys for jamming out with us here on this midday edition of TBV. You know how me and Matt like to do. More is always good around these parts. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. If you made it this deep into the show, you might as well hit that thumbs up and drop that 5-star review, because you know that you love it, and we need you to show the rest of the world that you love it, to give us the access that brings you those Earl Spence TBV all angles that Matt did, and those one-on-ones with whatever your favorite fighter is. So you can catch my host on his other podcast where he discusses massaging people's feet.
That's not what podcast is. Obviously, you can find me at Mixed Combat News on Twitter, and my new Instagram, Matt Hunter TBV, and my MMA podcast, Mixed Combat Radios, on Patreon, SoundCloud, iTunes, Facebook, etc. Peace. Have a good one. And this fight sucks. Let's not allow this to happen.
I like the way you ended that. He's a for the people type of guy.
Let's do it. Let's rally.
Mr. Matt, aka
me and Georgie Porgy against the mafias. Let's go, Georgie.
Matt, aka the politician over here. Yo, we're out.